People were attributing last week the evolution of the Premier League to people like Roman Abramovich. With due respect, with the exception of Chelsea, Roman Abramovich was one of the worst things that could have happened to English football. We were on a direction of travel that was already upwards. Our Premier League was already flying. We already had the broadcasters throwing money at us hand over fist. What you did was you created hyperinflation. You might have broken up the duopoly. You might have stopped the powerhouses that were United and Arsenal for a period of time, but that was going to happen anyway because ownership models were changing. What you did was you changed the landscape by making football so financially unviable for your own reasons. People look at these people buying football clubs like Manchester City, like Newcastle, like Chelsea, and look at the ownership. These people aren't buying these football clubs because they love the football clubs. They're buying them because they want to get a life insurance policy against political leanings, they want to sports wash, they want to legitimise regimes like Newcastle. They want to have a situation where they own our English football clubs, and we sit there and we go, that's great. And the main beneficiaries of it are agents and players. And what have we got now? A generation of players that have no character, no backbone, no substance, get paid far too much money. The immorality of football comes up for question. And I think it's a tragedy. I think it's a reality. And the lack of governance behind the game gives it people like this the facilities to be able to do this. Abramovich's legacy is what? For Chelsea, fabulous. For football in this country, I think it's awful. Tragically, our biggest, most aspirational assets are our football club, and we're quite happy to welcome these people in to own our football clubs as long as they've got a big bag of money.
That's right.
I sat on the sideline, sort of storing this up last week, thinking, the Premier League has been brought forward. All this crap I've been listening to, if it wasn't for Roman Abramovich, the Premier League would never be what it is. Nonsense. What did it do? What it did was it created hyperinflation, which has destroyed football. The Championship is in an absolute chaos. The EFL cannot keep up with the Premier League. The only beneficiaries have really been players and agents. No one's making more money. No one's getting anything more out of the game. The fans are seeing sometimes better football, but they would have seen it anyway because our powerhouse league would have superseded La Liga, would have superseded Serie A. It didn't need this kind of money to do it. And what it's done is it's brought about a vacuum in our game. Look at the way players behave now. Look at the money these players are getting paid. Look at the immorality of all of that. And you look at it and say, what did it actually bring? The game's getting further away from the fans. The cost implications of the game are getting greater. Players are getting more control and less value. We're talking about Man United players don't get the reality of playing for, ironically, the most iconic football club in the world. And part of that is the financial landscape that was created by people like Roman Abramovich. Good riddance, bye-bye next.